It's strengthening me, keeping me in the streets.
Thank you for joining me and the Old Grumpy Prosperity Team for this week's episode of Grow Your Mind and Money. Now, tonight, we are interviewing Kristin Abbajay, co-founder of Living Soul to Soul. She is a world-acclaimed coach, seminar leader, and performance expert. Kristin has experienced the other side of the mountain, the valley, and the mountaintop, and she's used those challenges to empower people in all walks of life and transforming what stops them into a source of power that has people exceed all expectations. Kristin is a champion for humanity. Well, you know it. It's time for some spoken word to kick off the show. Now, it looks like Shani, our original Sunshine Princess of Poetry, she is still on the road, but she has sent us a great track to kick off the show. This is none other than Pumpkin from Pluto.
No pity, I feel shitty enough. Yes, it's rough, but it's a must that I get tough and move on. Not easily said or done. Shine by my own self for the things I contemplate to put food on my children's plate. As I wait for a brighter day, my icebox gets empty. My mind grows tempted to do the unthinkable. Now unable to put food on my table, I'm more capable of telling fables to my kids on things I cannot see. But what I can see are their faces looking at me, asking for their TV and their PlayStation. Where is that and when it's coming back? A shack we live in with holes in our ceiling is where the money went to pay the rent. Now all my money is spent. Went to the welfare line, the incline was declined for using my mind. Are those signs that God is bringing a better day? Or is it mockery and Satan is patronizing me to make me lose my way? There'll be a brighter day. Get on your knees and pray. It's what I always say. But I think there'll come a day where I will shriek after where a man touches my face. Because I've slept with him to make my children's day. But I'm a mother, disgracing my womanhood for the love of my offspring. What more can I bring? But there's one thing I can say. As long as I have to provide a way, there'll be shame and disgrace. There'll be a day of pity and mistake. But with God's grace, I could hold my head up, put the deuce up, and never give up, and pray for a brighter day.
That was Pumpkin from Pluto. Well, before we continue, it is time to see what money-making thoughts Darnell has for us today.
Thank you, Quiet Storm. Following your advice, if you knew someone in your own situation, what advice would you give that person? What course of action, what priorities, what strategies would you suggest? Think about that. And then think about this. Are you right now following your own advice? It's easy to know what to do when you're not the person who has to do it. When you actually have to implement the advice, things get complicated and uncomfortable. Yet good advice is good advice. And you are well positioned to give yourself good advice. Yes, it will involve some real work to do what you know must be done. Fortunately, as difficult as it may be, you can absolutely do that work and follow the advice you yourself would offer. So go ahead, be brutally honest, and give yourself the advice you need to hear. Then take it to heart, put it into action, and make the progress you know you can make. What I have learned about myself and growing my mind when it comes to the thing, following your advice and action, I would say is be true, trust, and believe. Because you are your own best advice giver. The same things you would advise someone else, take it to heart. Learn to follow your voice. Become the one who is not afraid or not above taking your own advice to see where it would take you in the future. I will see you later on in the show. But right now, it's time for our special interview with Kristin Abbajay, the performance master. Over to you, Ryan B.
Thank you, Voice of Reason. It's easy to know what to do when you're not the person who has to do it. Wow. Now, in the first part of the show, we will learn about a challenge Kristin faced in having her dreams fulfilled, a challenge that knocked the wind out of her sails. Somehow, some way, she kept going and used that challenge to give her strength that has made her successful in every area she chooses to focus her time and energy. In part 2 of the show, Nakia, Empress of Faith, will continue the interview and look at some of the challenges Kristin faces in having her business and vision for humanity fulfilled. We will learn about the aha moment that set her on the path to creating living soul to soul. In the finale, Kristin will share a couple of practices that will make a difference in reaching your goals for wealth and prosperity with Quiet Storm. Kristin will also share the future of living soul to soul and her upcoming projects. Thank you, Kristin, for being on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we're excited to have you. And, Kristin, we're going to just dive right into it. What we're asking in this part of the show is for you to please share an incident or time in your life that knocked the wind out of your sails. When the going got even rougher and you felt like you were lost, please be as specific as possible so we can truly appreciate what you were experiencing.
Thank you. I spent 8 years developing myself to become this person in the world in a career that I really wanted to lead seminars around the world. And I was doing that. I accomplished it. I was doing it. And one day, in being together with other leaders, I passed out and I got sick. And no one knew what I had. And I stopped doing what I spent almost a decade to become in the world. And it was literally like the wind being knocked out of me. I spent months going to several doctors trying to figure out what I had. I went from causing a difference in the world to not being able to move. And, yeah, talk about being sad, ashamed. It was probably the roughest period of my life. Here I was. I should have known how to do things. I knew how to do things. And it seemed like I got taken out of life. There's a lot of sadness there, of being ashamed, afraid. I had all these support people around me, and I stopped communicating to people, going from this huge community to trying to figure out life myself. Experience of being lost and confused, disappointed at myself, at others, at the world. Very rough moments for me. I say moment. It was actually probably the roughest months and year I've ever had in my life.
Wow. As you said, you had worked 8 years so that so that you could lead programs and develop yourself, and then, just your health took over.
Yes, it did.
And yeah. Now, during that time, because you did mention that there was a lot of, you kind of mentioned the word shame several times. During that time that you were dealing with that health situation, did you find yourself blaming others, the circumstances, or yourself?
Absolutely. Okay? The first person was myself. Like, I did something wrong. I should have taken care of my body better. I should have known better. A lot of blame on myself. And then it went to, well, my coaches, my mentors, they should have known. The company shouldn't, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, God. The company shouldn't have.
Yes, right. Everyone got in the mix of it.
Oh,
nasty.
God.
It was nasty. It was just, I was being nasty. And, I was watching it happen as I was being that way.
Oh, that's interesting. You said you were watching it happen.
Yeah.
So you could see yourself and how you were, I'll say, behaving or being, but it was like you were outside looking in and you didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was literally like I was unwilling to stop that way of actions and how I was interacting and being. It was like just a total observer of myself. I don't know if you've ever had that experience, right? Like, you're just doing something and then you're just observing it, but, I didn't stop it. It went on for a period of time and I didn't stop it.
Wow.
And where the shame came in is in the world of knowledge, like you talk about giving advice and then, having to take your own. Yeah, that was in the moment of that I didn't, things that I would have said to people for, years. And, and I'm really clear, I was watching it and I let it go that way.
Wow. What's kind of wow me is that here's a person that's a master coach, one of the few people in the world, like, 50 people, something like that, some small number.
Yeah.
Wow. And no accidents of following your own advice. You're watching yourself. That is so deep. Now, that is just wow. But, I can I guess what I'm getting present to is how much, I'll observe my own downfall. I will observe and know it's happening. And wow, so, well, okay, we're, at least we both have that one. Now during that time that you were dealing with that health situation, at what point did you stop caring about who or what to blame and got back in action?
I have a son, and he's absolutely phenomenal. And there was this moment that I started to observe him being cautious and concerned about me.
Oh.
And it was just like, a brick hit me on my head. It was like, wow. Who I had been for him his entire life, all of a sudden, how I was behaving and who I was being in my actions, was impacting him, that all of a sudden his attention was he needed to take care of me or there was concern about me. And it was like, holy cow, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? And that was the moment, like, I need to take different actions. For me, there's nothing like a wake-up call of my son.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what steps did you take to get back on the path, to get back on the horse?
the very first step is to actually pick up the phone, and from people that I wasn't in communication with, that I'd been out of communication and not talking to for months, I picked up the phone and I started to call people and first acknowledge, like, you know, I'm dealing with this and I'm ashamed and I'm embarrassed and this is what's going on and I haven't kept my word. And I started to be in communication and get connected to people and be real about what was really there for me. And then started to make a list of, okay, what actions do I need to actually do in life? And then wrote those down and started to promise myself and other people what actions to take daily. And then it was inside those actions that, you know, I started to see a glimpse of something else beyond what I was already dealing with in that moment for this couple of months. But for me, it took to get connected to people. One of the things that for me is profound with humanity is that, you know, the design of us as being human, we're designed to be connected to people. And there's been so many years of my life growing up and not being connected. And then I spent these beautiful 12 years being profoundly connected to people. And then I took myself away. And just that experience of the loneliness is challenging. And so what I need to do is to get into communication and get connected and then take action day by day, especially the ones I didn't want to take. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. I got a few of those almost every day.
Okay. Wow. And now is your health back on track?
My health is back on track, and it is, and the greatest thing is that I'm at the source of my health. Like, I have health issues, and I can be 100% responsible, and I still can have it all in life. And for me, having it all is being true to who you are. People talk about having it all. Having it all comes from you just being authentically true to who you are, and so inside my actions. That's what had my health turn around. And being true to who I am. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. I just wanted to, just something that you said about when you said that you got to the source of your health.
Yeah.
And for most of us, we don't get to the source of the food that's on our plate, let alone our health. And what I also heard was by getting to the source of your health being you and taking responsibility, you actually empowered yourself to be responsible.
Yes, I did. And that took something, moment by moment, and it was having me for me getting the source is to deal with the reality of something just the way it is, just what my body was doing, what my body wasn't doing, and taking away all my personal judgment about it, and especially the judgment that I hear from other people, including doctors, right? Nothing against anyone. They just took away interpretation, judgment, and assessments, and my own judgment about how I thought my body was supposed to be. And I laid that to rest. And then I dealt with what's actually happening in my body, what wasn't happening, and then looked at, okay, now what? Which started to give me the source of empowerment and power. Have things move rapidly for myself. Things that I've learned is that, one definition of power is the rate in which you can move anything. But I had no power in it because you can only move something when you're clear about what's there without judgment. So that's what I started to do in my body, with my body, my relationship with my body.
Wow, we look at it as our body is there, but what I actually hear is that you actually got to, I'm just going to say it this way. You started being with your own body.
Yeah. Totally.
Started being with your own, you stopped resisting your own body. And, how do they say that there may be a few of us who have a couple of little grams of weight we might want to get rid of.
Right.
but it keeps sticking around because what you resist persists.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It really does. Mm-hmm.
So you actually started being with your own body. Wow.
Yeah.
We could go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So often I'm running on that, right? It was the first thing for me is to tell the truth that I was resisting that. Because I had a lot of reasons and explanations and justifications. Mm-hmm. And so it was really just telling myself the truth of the degree that I was resisting it.
Well, Kristin, we're gonna move along. What words of wisdom will you share with our listeners from the theme "Following Your Advice"?
Be willing to tell yourself the truth and listen to it, and be willing to see where you resist anything in life, and then let go resisting it for whatever you want so it can show up. But in the face of resistance, it won't.
What you resist. Well, what you have been sharing has truly been a blessing, and I've been moved, touched, and inspired by your genuineness. And what I see for myself is that as long as I resist what is needed for me to manifest my dreams, nothing's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Nothing is going to happen. Now, we will hear more from Kristin later in the show, but it's time for a prosperous spirit with Miss Cookie. Unfortunately, Miss Cookie is away on a family emergency, so we send our prayers out to her and her family and loved ones. But we do have the Empress of Faith filling in for her. Nakia, take it away.
Thank you, Ronnie. I connect with the sacred in me. In times when my mind wanders into worry and fear, I connect with the sacred source of life and inspiration within me. I turn away from the outer world. I breathe deeply to calm my busy mind. I find solace and comfort by letting go into the holy presence. My breathing becomes softly soft and steady. My body relaxes into profound peace. God is the energy animating my existence. As I focus on this energy, I find myself naturally moving into a higher state of consciousness. My mind becomes quiet. I dedicate time today and every day to connect with God in prayer and meditation. In these precious moments, one with the sacred presence, I am filled with truth in the sacredness of who I am. All is well. Stay tuned for the kitchen with Miss Cookie and Quiet Storm featuring music from Tracy Lynn on the Korner.
Oh, how special. Oh, beautiful, just beautiful. Oh, how adorable is that?
Edible Arrangements has a fresh fruit bouquet to make any occasion special. Our bouquets are made with fresh premium fruit, arranged in a variety of stunning displays. Make every occasion special with Edible Arrangements. Guys, the baby's over here.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay, yes. And don't even think about touching my edible arrangement.
For pickup or delivery nationwide, call 877-DO-FRUIT, 877-DO-FRUIT, or go to ediblearrangement.com. That's ediblearrangement.com. Yeah.
Oh, my. What a nice looking baby you got there.
Make all your special moments. Moments with Edible Arrangements.
Welcome back. We give it to you. We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with love. Okay, something smells great. Well, I know it's not Miss Cookie, but I see Ronnie B over there with the apron on, putting something up in the kitchen. Ronnie B, tell us.
Okay, welcome to the kitchen. We have a great recipe to feed those hearty appetites that have been working diligently on growing their minds and money. Miss Cookie isn't available, but she did send a quick recipe for us that even I could fix. Okay, now this quick and easy chicken recipe is for the days when you don't want to spend time in the kitchen. Even finicky people will eat it. It goes great with traditional potatoes or rice. As it bakes, the garlic and sugar will melt into a sweet glaze. Customize with your favorite herbs or spices. Now, what we're having is, the dish is easy garlic chicken. Now, you need 4 boneless, endless chicken breasts, 4 garlic cloves minced, 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, a tablespoon of olive oil, and you can add additional herbs and spices as desired. That's a Quiet Storm. She likes to spice it up. You want to preheat the oven to 450 degrees. Line a baking dish or cookie sheet with aluminum foil and lightly coat with cooking spray or lightly brush with oil. In a small saute pan, you want to saute the garlic with the oil until tender. Remove from heat and stir in brown sugar. Add additional herbs and spices as desired. Season the chicken with salt and pepper. Now, for some of us who are heart sensitive, you can just add a little more garlic or different seasoning instead of the salt, but add the pepper. Place the breast in a prepared baking dish and cover with the garlic and brown sugar mixture. You want to bake uncovered for 15 to 30 minutes or until the juices run clear. Now, the cooking time will depend on the size and thickness of your chicken, but take it out of the oven after about 30 minutes, and as Miss Cookie would say, yum, yum, yummy. So I hope you like that quick and easy garlic chicken dish. Even some of you fellas could whip that one out. It is time for the Korner with Quiet Storm. Let's give her a smooch and a rose.
All right, thank you, Ronnie B. Well, tonight we are featuring music from Tracy Lynn out of Philadelphia, PA, with her album, The Awakening. Now, as you know, we usually ask our team to vote whether the track should get a smooch and a rose or if it needs more fertilizing. And, of course, we have our first track. This one is called Don't Have to Be Right. Let's hear it.
I don't have to be right this time. I don't have to be right this time. Don't know what tomorrow holds, but as long as you're holding me, I don't have to be right this time.
I don't have to be right this time. I don't have to be right this time. Neither one of us wants to go, and the world can be so cold. I don't have to be right this time.
That was Don't Have to Be Right. And let's go right to our panel to see what they thought about that one. Let's start with the voice of reason. We usually don't. Voice of reason, did you like Don't Have to Be Right?
Don't have to be right, but you don't have to be bad either. We give it as some fertilizer. Dumping fertilizer. Beep. Back up the truck. Shout out to Miss Cookie.
Miss Cookie is here in spirit. Well, voice of reason, back the truck up on it. Well, let's go right to Lady Nakia, the Empress. Empress, what did you think of Don't Have to Be Right?
I thought it was good in the beginning, and then it became long and repetitive. So, you know, at that point, it kind of lost my attention. It was a good flow of music. The vocals was good. It just ended up going too long with the same thing. If they could have gave it some more meat, then I think it would have turned out excellent. So I'm going to give it a smooch. And, you know, they can definitely revisit that, and I think they could turn it into a great piece of work.
Interesting perspective. All right. Well, we got some fertilizer. We got a little love with a smooch from the Empress. And, well, let's go to our guest, Kristin. Kristin, what did you think of that track?
Similar to the comment just a minute ago, the communication, the message was great, and it lost my interest at the end. It just was repetitive, very similar to what was just said. I wanted more oomph to it. I wanted to know more of what they were attempting to communicate. The beat was great. Vocals I can't judge. I think I'm tone deaf. But I like the communication. Just too long.
Got it. All right. Well, Mr. Ronnie B, tell us all about it.
Well, I was sort of on the fence. First off, I was like, Miss Tracy Lynn. Actually, I'd like her voice. Now, if she could get rid of the brother messing up the vocals, that might help the song out a whole bunch. Because I'm giving his side of the vocals put me so far to sleep, I had to go get me a double shot of caffeine to come back alive to it. So I'm giving, it's kind of hard because I want to throw some I'm going to go get some Miracle Grow to give to the male part. But I like Tracy Lynn. The track was a little too long. Like I said, they needed some of that garlic chicken. Bring a little more life to it. They need a little bit of that garlic chicken. We need a little bit more to it. So I'm going to give it a pedal.
Okay. I think they forgot the hook there. All right. Well, you have heard it here with regard to Don't Have to Be Right. We're going to move right on to the next track.
And your vote, Quiet Storm?
It was just, I like the melody. I could appreciate the lyrics, really. I love the guitar playing. I didn't see the need for it to be a duet. I was kind of puzzled as to why, as you called him, the dude, as to why his vocals seemed higher. It might have been in the mixing. They seemed louder, which didn't, work. And it just became really super corny, so no. And yes, we are moving on to the next track. This one is called Music of My Mind by the same artist. Let's check it out.
Sometimes you come to the crossroads in life and you ask yourself, what am I most passionate about? What is it that I must do before I leave this earth? And when you come to those crossroads, you know, make the music. Make the music. The music of my mind. Make the music.
got to press on and make the music. The music of my mind. Make the music. Yeah, the music of my mind. No, you're not alone. And it's okay to cry. Yeah. Everybody come with a dream. Oh, but few of us will try. We are still standing. You better tell your story through the music and the rhythm. Somebody catch the fire. The music of my Get your hands up high, give me what's so close, so come on, let's go around. It's an easy road, oh no, 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 an easy
Music of my mind. Music of my mind. Panel, is music of my mind getting a smooch and a rose or a bit of fertilizer? Let's start off with Nakia.
Oh, Lord.
Help.
I'm just going to back up some trucks because that was too much going on for me. It was all over the place for me. And I couldn't even grasp what was going on because of, I just, you know, you know how that engine is deep sounding, but then that beat is just so there. Yeah, it was there. So back up the truth, please.
Oh, it's a no from Nakia, and the truck has arrived. Okay, well, we're moving on to the voice of reason. Voice of reason, what you say?
Well, Quiet Storm, I may need to get those trucks moving again, fertilizing, because I just could not get into it. I mean, she sounded like she sounded like a knockoff Erica Badu.
Ah.
I was saying Erica Badu. So we fertilized. With the right dude's credit, she didn't bring back the guy to sing with her, so she's gonna take all this fertilizer on her own.
All right. Well, Kristin, you heard it. What do you think of that?
These are some of the things that were said, and it was just very disconnected, right? Like two complete messages, and I didn't know what to listen to except for to tune out. waiting for it to be done, right? So it was just painful to listen to. Because I could get, like, maybe two different types of songs, one with the beat and one with the words.
Interesting. Well, we're on a roll. Ronnie B.
Well, first off, Tracy, I think you need a new producer. Someone who doesn't drown out your singing with their music.
Exactly.
And someone who can write to accentuate your singing. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to back up the fertilizer truck. Voice of Reason, throw me those keys. Throw me the keys to the fertilizer truck, because I'm going to have to, back it on up.
It's already there. Just get on in the truck. Well, I think the young lady is talented. She did remind me of Erykah Badu. I think it can, her own style in that vein can be brought more out. I'm sure it will the more she, continues to sing. But, the music was definitely, you just could see. I don't know what happened to the bridge either, but, okay, there's more to work on, but she is a work in progress. Well, that was our music for the show. And, of course, if you like what you heard, you can hear more from her. But right now, we're going to have Nakia take us to break.
Woo! Well, let's take a moment to recover from those experiences and those fertilizer trucks being backed up. Up next, we have Shiny, Sunshine now. My interview with Kristins and the voices from the Egypt. Please stay tuned while we back those trucks up.
Yeah. Pay someone to give me coaching when what I need is to make more money. Let's get real. You are already making money if you can afford to pay a so-called coach to get you to the next level. Ever hear the old saying, those who can, do. Those who can't, coach. Seems like a whole bunch of so-called life or business coaches do nothing but sell the need for coaching. I was more than skeptical when it came to paying a coach to help me make more money in my business. Margaret Basson's Elegant Coaching is about fulfilling desires now, not later, which blew me away. Week 1. I am critical, suspicious, skeptical, and disagreeable. Margaret trains us on seeing what is hidden from our view. Week 2, I am beginning to pinpoint the exact actions I take when making the moves critical to growing my business that are keeping it from growing wildly. I am less skeptical, critical, and suspicious. Margaret trains us how to put the past in the past and bring completion to decisions that are impacting our present and future effectiveness. Week 3, my company doubled its sales income and I made a lot more money, a lot more. I want more coaching. Margaret Basson's Elegant Coaching, fulfilling desires now, not later.
We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with love. Now it's time to visit the lounge. Shani is away on performing, so she threw the keys over to the voice of reason. Darnell, take it away.
Thank you, Ronnie B. And yes, Shani did throw me the keys, so I'm up in here. So welcome to Shani's Sunshine Lounge, where we feature a mixture of goodies that will stimulate your mind, yeah, and maybe have you tap your feet, toe tap. Tonight in the lounge, that's Shiny Sunshine Lounge, that is, we have an awesome poet, Tim McGee, performing The American Dream. The mic is hot.
My American dream. My American dream is.
American dream to me is.
American dream.
My American dream was. My American dream is music producer, fulfilling all my goals in life, which are.
House, car, nice job, money in the bank.
Better future and a better life, where there's no limits.
Something you love to do and figure out a way to get a job doing it.
You know, you're free. That's the American dream.
I don't know what the American dream is. I don't think anybody knows. You know, everybody has their different opinions on what it is, or everybody has their different definition of what it is. For me, I'm not even sure. That's why I want to start this journey to find out. Man, not too long ago, from one of these myself, playing around in the playground, you know, just wondering what I was going to be when I grew up. You know, by the time I was like 15, I made my decision what I wanted to do. And I knew I always wanted to act, be on TV, make it to the big screen. My American dream, to be the best actor I can be, show the world my talent. We are all constantly trying to obtain an American dream. The difference from person to person could mean a plethora of things. To him, it could be money, cars, clothes, and expensive things. But to her, it could be a stable relationship verified at the end by a wedding ring. Some dream to be almighty, such as kings and queens, determined to acquire quickly develop our schemes. Looking your friends and family to be on our team, fueled by words of encouragement like we believe, and sacrifices by loved ones to get what you need. So now you come off the block sprinting like you sane. Finish line equivalent to that of fame. Your mind said you'll do anything to obtain. Going hard as your craft for a season to spell, but then you get knocked off your high horse the first time you fail. Now you thinking you was crazy from the start. Humpty Dumpty dreams, now they falling all apart. So take some time to remember that thing beating inside you, your heart. Your life is a blank canvas and you control the art. Dreams are dreams no matter how simplistic or large. But the key thing you gotta have to obtain them is resolve. Hi, my name is Timothy McGee, and my American dream is to be the world's best actor. And while I hope y'all enjoyed this, excuse me and give me a moment while I go practice.
Oh, all right. That was The American Dream. Panel, is Tim McGee getting some snaps, or some rotten tomatoes? Let's just go right in on it. Quiet storm.
Woo. I'm sorry. I just have some, a basket of rotten tomatoes here ready to be thrown.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really, I don't know what that was at the end. Then him walking away, that Cookie Monster, what was that? I don't know. It wasn't all that interesting to me. I just have to say, it just wasn't all that interesting at all.
Okay. Well, I saw you over there limbering up your arm, so I knew it was something. Okay. Well, let's just get right on into it again. Ronnie B.
At first I wanted to give him a snap, but then I don't know, this is sounding like a meatless night, so I'm going to have to throw a rotten tomato at him. Could have been better. I'm throwing a tomato.
Oh, man, you over there looking like Fergie Jenkins. All right, well, we're just going to come right back with our guest, Kristin Abbajay. I see you over there snickering.
I am, because I got a tomato as well. There's just an unfulfilled expectation there. I just thought, American dream, waiting to be inspired and moved, and I wasn't interested.
Ooh.
Wow.
But I saw you over there racing toward them rotten tomatoes. So hey, step on up and take your best shot at Tim McGee. Wow. But hey, last but not least, we have the Empress, Nakia. Oh, and I know you a Houston Astro fan.
Baby, let me tell you. You know the machine that you use that the balls come out of and you just keep swinging?
No.
You know that machine? Okay. So imagine me standing at the plate. I don't even need a helmet. But every rotten tomato that come up out of that machine, I'm swinging it and I'm hitting that dude in the center of his forehead. Saying, what is this chicken? Because all I got was at the age 15, you realize what you wanted to be, which was an actor, a performer. After that, I have no idea what he was talking about. I don't know what he ended up doing. And in the end, he was walking away. Well, let me hit you in the back of your head so you can turn back around. Because I get it. So tonight, home run, you need to go back to the starting plate because you got out. So that's all I got for you.
Oh, the Empress. Tell us how you really feel. Hit him in the back of the head. Well, the voice of reason is gonna join in on the fun. It's no fun unless the voice of reason can get in on the fun and with a two-fisted attack. I mean, I'm throwing with both hands. Throwing. Up there, right? I'm sure you're I'm going to throw it with both hands. See, hey, you know, my uncles taught me well growing up. Use both hands.
That's right. Swing them like we used to when we was kids, fighting.
Tim McGee, you got some rotten tomatoes here tonight. So if you come back around these parts again, you better get your mind to making some poetry because that's not going to do it. Well, for those of you who may have liked his delivery, I hope you enjoyed the performance, because we didn't, from Tim McGee. You can check him out on oldgrumpyhouston.com. And we'll have to clean up the lounge before Shani puts us out. It won't let her throw me the keys again, so clean up the rotten tomatoes. Next, it's time to continue our interview with Kristin Abbajay. Empress Nakia, take it away.
Woo! Kristin, wow. Thank you so much for sharing. I know, right? Thank you so much for sharing and your willingness to be open and authentic. I absolutely love it. In this segment, we will learn about Kristin and some of the challenges she faces in having living soul to soul succeed and exceed all expectations. All right, Kristin, you ready to chit-chat?
I am.
Excellent. So, can you please share the aha moment when you knew in your heart of hearts that creating living soul to soul was the right thing for you to do?
I was dealing with my everyday problems of life. I don't know if you have any or people have their everyday problems of life. And
of course.
It hit me like, what am I doing? See, like I have a relationship to problems, like most human beings do that. In life, problems shouldn't be there. I'm mostly like trying to get rid of problems. And I know that in life there are problems. Rather than attempting to get rid of my problems, why don't I actually create a problem worthy of my life? And
wow.
I was sitting there, yeah. So sitting there and I'm like, what am I doing, right? My life doesn't have a big enough problem. It's not for something big enough. And I sat down and meditated, and I had a powerful conversation with, I'm going to be used up when I die, so what is it going to be? And it was really out to create a huge human movement for life, that everybody gets that space that we got born into. And I just was so moved that just to make a dent into humanity, to actually being able to live true to themselves. But that was the moment, is that when I was unwilling just to deal with my petty problems of life and create a problem worthy of my life.
Wow.
Kind of cool to actually create your own problem, huh?
Wow. Wow. And willing to deal with your petty problems and then creating your own.
Yes.
We do.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. I really can. Wow. That was powerful. Okay, so what circumstances or people challenge you in having living soul to soul, and the difference you make exceed all expectations? And what are you doing to overcome those obstacles?
So the big circumstance, and it's not people, it would be any dialogue I listen to that I generate that provides me zero value of what I'm up to. So my biggest thing that I challenge is listening to any doubt or judgment that I have or someone else has about what I'm up to. And so, you ever just listen to like some of the things like I can't, or this is hard, or, don't do that, or this. That's the biggest challenge for me, is to not listen to that and just to be in action. So that's what I do every day. I take action that I'm terrified of, right? And it would be, and I give my word to myself or to someone else, especially to someone else. If it's, I know that I don't want to do it, I better tell someone else I'm going to do it. So, now I have it outside of me, because sometimes I can just blow myself off and no one will ever know. But if I actually have to tell someone, it just erases the stakes for me.
Wow. That's, okay, holding yourself accountable, but having an accountability partner at the same time to get that done. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, to actually do things that I've never done before, I'm not willing to. It really does come down to that. There's just, what I've learned, the only time I don't exceed is I'm just not willing. And it doesn't mean there's not circumstances, threat circumstances, right? I just know that when I take action, the circumstances start to get reduced.
Okay. Okay, so would you be willing to share a disappointment that involves working with others that still have you shake your head today?
I've got lots of disappointment. I love to share a disappointment. Nothing that I have that I'm still shaking my head at. One of the things of my practices that I do daily is to make sure that I do get my disappointments complete so I don't carry them on, because that just impacts how I live if I keep carrying my disappointments. But a disappointment I had is working with a company who was really up to triple their income, to go from 30 million to 100 million. And in doing work, they were out to cause remarkable results, and they were willing to bust through where they were uncomfortable and go into the unknown in business and stand out. And when we got there, when we were headed in the most uncomfortable part of it, they gave up. And wow, my failure, right? Like for me, I take that on, right? That was a big disappointment recently. Yes.
Wow. I can imagine. So now, give us a moment. Share a specific moment where your efforts were reversed and the memories of the work you and others did still bring a smile to your face today.
Working with this gentleman, he was originally from Vietnam, and in his childhood, he had to help raise his 7 brothers and sisters, and on his watch, one of his sisters died. And at 16, he got a girl pregnant, and he was never allowed to be a part of the baby, and the baby was given up for adoption. And then I had the privilege to be with him and work with him. And over a few days, he let all that go and got in communication, and his daughter found him in that time.
Wow.
And they reunited. Yeah, there's a lot of details, but over in a couple of day period, he forgave himself about his sister passing away, and he reunited with his daughter that he hadn't met in decades. That smiles to my face all the time.
Absolutely. That should warm anyone's heart. That is powerful. Forgiveness. Now, Kristin, absolutely. Something we have to work on every day. Every day. I know that we can definitely. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Sorry. One of the definition for forgiveness is just the willingness to stop punishing another or yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know that we can talk forever, and I truly enjoy having a conversation with you, and definitely appreciate your sharing and transparency. But I know it's time to hear from our listeners. So, Quiet Storm, what do you hear from the ethers?
Well, it is my pleasure, and we do have feedback from our listening audience. Well, our first voice from the ether writes, Nakia, you are so right. Take ownership of the things you can control. People really need to get your message. Love you. And that was from George Canty. That was from George. George, we definitely appreciated that. And let's see who we have next. Well, the next listener writes, Ronnie B., I love your message. Think, then act. And your guest, Chris, had me hanging on every word he spoke. He reminds me of Bill Clinton. If he runs for Texas governor, he's got my vote. Now, that was from Wanda Mayberry. Wanda, thanks for that. All right. Now, our next voice from the ethers, well, they write, I love Grow Your Mind. It embraces spirituality without beating you over the head with religion. The guests always share from their hearts instead of giving you a bunch of information designed to get you to use their service or buy their miracle water. Just like Mr. Swindler, amazed me with their courage and their willingness to share so deeply without any self-righteousness. Ronnie B. and the ladies on the show are smooth, and you can tell they are well rehearsed. I like Mr. Moore's opening themes each week. They set a great tone. This week's delivery by Ronnie B. was fantastic. He touches your soul, and he seems like he does it effortlessly. By the way, like Jay Pasley, I like Jay Pasley. Give him a smooch, but I am holding the rose for the young lady he was singing with. All right, that came from Bernard McGivens, and that is our last voice from the ethers. We hope you enjoyed it, and please keep them coming. Well, Darnell, take us to break.
Coming up in the next segment, the finale. with Kristin Abbajay. Food for thought and the prosperity work.
Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code FREE61 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out AdamandEve.com today. Select one item and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping, when you enter offer code FREE61. That's FREE61 at AdamandEve.com.
We give it all to you on Grow Your Mind and Money, and we do it all with love. Over to Quiet Storm for the finale.
Thank you so much, Darnell. Well, Kristin, it is a very special treat having you on the show tonight, and I am just delighted from listening to you share so freely.
Thank you. It's an honor to be on.
Welcome. All right. Well, I'd like to begin by just asking, what challenges do you see lurking in the waters that will try to slow you down or take you off the path from having living soul to soul succeed beyond expectation?
Other people's judgments, coming up against things I've never done before, and not knowing how to go past that. I can see you're just listening to myself and judgments or people's criticism. That would definitely... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you can finish your thought.
No, that definitely would slow me down.
All right, well, I can definitely relate. Well, please share 2 pitfalls that you've seen people fall into when it comes to being consistent in their actions for growing their careers, either wealth, health, or well-being.
First pitfall I see with people is people being attached to their opinions or their views and not listening or being able to see something outside of it where their growth and expansion will come from. The first pitfall. And then the second pitfall is when people get scared or afraid and they stop. And they have a lot of valid reasons and justifications to stop, but they make their circumstances and things that they're dealing with bigger than what they're committed to. So when they get uncomfortable, they stop. Those are the 2 biggest pitfalls that I see for people do.
Yes. Well, those are definitely 2 huge pitfalls. Well, what do you have on your plate, and how can our listeners learn more about the projects and activities that you're involved with?
But before Kristin answers that question, Kristin, would you please share with us one practice you use daily to keep yourself in action and focus on the results you intend to produce?
Each morning I get clear about not the actual task at hand, but what I'm actually committed to. So I'm present to the possibility of what I'm committed to. And then I write down and declare what I'm going to do, and I hold myself to account to that. That's fun. Every day.
Okay. All right. Well, tell us what you have coming up and how can folks reach you to get involved with you.
What I have coming up is not courses, but sessions for people to attend to actually have everything that they want in every kind of relationship. Business relationship, partnership, relationship with your kids, any kind of relationship that you can actually be true to yourself and have it all in the face of any circumstance or whatever you deal with. And so people can check that out on livingsoul2soul.com, and the 2 is the number 2. And we also are launching, like Dear Abby, there's a Dear Abbajay that people have an opportunity to come and get any of their concerns, what they're dealing with, any of their struggles, get some coaching and on it. And you can check that out on livingsoul2soul.com as well. We're out to have everybody be able to experience who they really are in the middle of all the circumstances that we deal with and have extraordinary power. And it doesn't take a lot to have extraordinary power. And I have a high commitment that the 7 billion people on the planet have that. And it's not just a concept for people. So they can check that out. And there's webinars on there for you to view and watch.
All right. Well, we do want to thank you, Kristin, for being on Grow Your Mind and Money. And please come back to visit us again. Well, I wonder what special dish Nakia has whipped up for us on Food for Thought.
Well, let's see here. What about hope into action? Not how, but hope into action. It takes more than hope to make things happen. Still, hope is a good and powerful thing. Being hopeful will not magically bring whatever you hope for. Yet, it is infinitely better than being hopeless. If you let it, hope will inspire you to action. When you persist in hope and persist in doing, you'll find that hope was well-founded and helpful. Hope is not something that must depend on outside conditions. So, you can choose hope no matter what's going on. You can always choose hope because you can always choose what to do with it. Let your hope give you a little bit of comfort and reassurance. But more than that, let it challenge you and inspire you to do the difficult work that brings what you hope into reality. Hope for the best, then transform that hope into a vision with a solid, practical path for moving forward. Put your hope into action and create a reality above and beyond the best you could hope for. Okay, an action I see I can take from myself when it comes to the theme hope into action is to do as I am in hope and continue in action, which means for me, don't give up, continue to maintain my faith, even in the moment of stillness, and move forward patiently in awareness as I trust God for direction, guidance, and hope. Darnell, as I be obedient, over to you for prosperity work.
Thank you, Empress. Get definite about prosperity. If we are vague, wishy-washy, unclear, on the fence, trying to keep all options open, the universe has little chance to support us in fulfilling our wealth, health, and financial desires. When we get definite about our wishes and desires, then providence and grace will move heaven and earth to have that desire fulfilled. Do not fear speaking what you desire. Be bold and daring. Say, you want a great relationship with a great spouse. Dare to say you want huge sums of money and what the huge sum is. Dare to declare the difference your vision makes and what the vision is and what you are doing to have that vision fulfilled. The work. Create a list of 10 desires, the action you will take to have these desires fulfilled, and most importantly, the date you declare it will be done. Read your list aloud daily and say the following affirmation: I am beautifully and appropriately supplied, clothed, housed, and transported with the rich substance of the universe now. Share your list with at least one person daily and invite them to participate. Remember, a miracle.
A world of peace and prosperity, one listener at a time. Until next time, grow your mind and money. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.